Good morning, BookTube. I thought I'd do something a little different in this video than I normally do. As most of you know, I'm a director of a library in Vermont, a very small one. Our town has less than 3,000 people and is spread through various hamlets and little villages over a pretty vast area. I've been the director here for around 4 years. And when I came here, delighted as I was, we had various projects, as you always do in a living institution. And one of those was we needed to expand to make the building more friendly for our patrons and more modern, without losing the old woodwork, as you can see, and without losing the character of the place. So we have expanded twice in those 4 years and are on the verge of expanding the building for a third time. I think we were calling them phases. We phase in this growth, and we do it very carefully. We have limited funds, limited resources, like every institution. You do the best with what you have. Besides the physical structure, something else was lacking, and that was central to our primary purpose and our mission, and that was a collection of American literature. We're an American library, and we lacked a cohesive collection of American literature. And to me, there's only one answer to that, and that's Library of America. And they're a single, uniform answer for a librarian like myself. I know what the binding is. I know the quality of the collection choices, and I know what I'm getting. So the question was, how do I fund this, and then how do I put this collection in the library? And it became a centerpiece of our collection development. And the Library of America, and I've got it printed out here so I get it right for you, because it's very important for your own local libraries. They have a gift sets program, and they have discounts that are meant to encourage individuals to donate volumes to institutions in their communities. Your child's school, your alma mater, where you went to college, or the public library. We are a public library. Now, if you do this, if you give a gift to your library, it's 100% tax deductible, and you can do it in honor of a family member, a friend, whatever you'd like. And it's a great way to recognize somebody who's a reader in your life. Now, I'm going to go through our collection here. All of ours have book plates that were provided by Library of America, and they recognize the person who gave us this gift collection. Basically the centerpiece of our entire book collection. So the person who buys these spends at the time of this video, spends $25 a volume, which is a pretty big discount. I think it's like 30% off each volume. And we did not have to pay shipping on these. Library of America covers that too. And you'll see we've got a massive collection, but you could do as few as a couple books, to as many books as you want out of their collection. So they have a director of institutional advancement at the Library of America who can help you with this. You can go to the Library of America website. I'll try to leave a link below. And I cannot stress enough how important this has been to our library. And you'll see being a historic library with this old woodwork, these shelves over here, which you can't see, but I'll show you in a minute. This building's over 100 years old. The original shelves were built by the master carpenter for Esky Organ Company out of Brattleboro, Vermont. Very famous pipe organ company. When we got the Library of America volumes, we wanted to make them the centerpiece of our library. And we hired a craftsman to come in and build a piece of bespoke furniture that was specific to the Library of America to house it in such a way that the community knew this was the centerpiece of our collection. He did that. It is a beautiful bookshelf, which you'll see in a minute, and it does highlight our collection. So I'm going to go through the collection with you a little bit. If you have questions, put them below about how we did the collection development, why we chose the volumes we did, the help that was provided to us by Library of America to do this, and don't forget, obviously I'm a librarian, and I'm going to tout this part of this program, and that's what the purpose of this video is. But also in your own home, to collect these volumes, I have many of them at home. Nothing like this collection, but I have many of them at home. They're just fantastic volumes, and they're great value. So I'm going to switch the camera around a little bit, give you a view of the bookcase, and go through the collection with you pretty quickly, because it is, like I say, big, and we don't want this video to drag on, but here we go. So here we are in the main reading room. I'll shift around. I have all the louvered windows covered because we're not open yet. But as you can see, these are all white oak bookshelves. These are the side details. Again, this is a modern shelf, which will be going away to open up this room a little bit. And this is our main reading room. So this was an old desk. Came with the library originally, as did the chairs, all well over 100 years old. And as you can see, these shelves, you can see some of the detail on them. That's an original shelf. And this is what we had built. It's permanently built in, has the same details on the side and the same details at the top. And you can see we have about 10 more volumes of Library of America downstairs that are in the final process of being, they've been cataloged, but they're being covered. And so those Mark Twain books down here on the right will go away. They're just basically a placeholder in the shelf right now. And this center part of our library, so if you walked into our library through the front door, you're going to walk this way, and that is the center of our collection. We have a couple more of these comfortable chairs coming in the next couple weeks, and we've really tried to open up this room. Oddly enough, this used to be the administrative center of the library. There was desks and copiers and computers. You could barely get to that part of the room. That's all been opened up. And this is the centerpiece right here. So I'm going to go over some of these volumes with you, and hopefully you'll see stuff you like. So with the gift sets program, the one thing I would recommend if you're doing it for a public library is that you allow the library to select the titles. You don't have to do that, but in our case it was incredibly important because it fits into our overall collection development. So I was able, with a list from Library of America, to choose the titles that would best serve us. And a lot of thought went into this, and Library of America itself helped us with this. So I'm just going to go through very succinctly, rather quickly, what the collection is. It fits our library, it fits our mission. Another library in another community that has a collection already in place that's different might choose differently, but I'll go through it fairly quickly here. So here we have 2 volumes of Reporting Vietnam, Reporting, also in 2 volumes, World War II. Then we have Payne's collected writings. So just give you an idea what that looks like. Hopefully there's not a lot of glare, but of course we cover our books for protection, so we do get a bit of glare when I'm filming. Tocqueville's Democracy in America. We have 2 volumes of Reporting Civil Rights. We have an anthology, and this is something that the Library of America does very well, and we did quite a few of these, you'll see, is we chose these modern type anthologies, thematic anthologies, because it helps with our collection. So this one here is quite a beautiful volume. It's Environmental Writing Since Thoreau, American Earth, forward by Al Gore, the former Vice President of the United States, and edited by Bill McKibben. And the list of essential writings in this is amazing. So I would strongly recommend it. And on the same type of theme, we have Leopold's The Sand County Almanac and other writings on ecology and conservation. So we have a great call on that. And Aldo Leopold's here on the back. It's quite a volume. And then, for obvious reasons, we have the 2 volumes on the debate of the Constitution of the United States. We have Muir's nature writings. This has the story of my boyhood and youth, my first summer in the Sierra, the mountains of California, Stikine, and essays. We have Audubon writings and drawings, another absolutely stunning volume. Give you an idea of that. All these volumes come with ribbon markers and all that. We have a volume of Art in America from 1945 to 1970, a collection of writings. Hopefully I'm not getting in the way here, but we also have, right here we have Thompson's writings on the state of music and other writings. A 2-volume set, and this has just been immensely popular and beautifully done, is American Musicals. The first volume is 1927 to 1949, and the second volume here is 1950 to 1969. They have these lovely covers, and they've been very popular. And again, another anthology we have here is American Stage, which is writing on theater from Washington Irving to Tony Kushner. Moving on, now our collection's done on the Dewey system, the Dewey Decimal System, so you'll see there's some separation of where a writer may show up. They're not always all together. Unfortunately, we could do that, but we did not. So we have Mark Twain, The Tramp Abroad. We have Mark Twain Anthology, which is basically great writers on his life and work, which we really enjoy. We have American Poetry from 17th to 18th century. We have Walt Whitman, Poetry and Prose. We have American Poetry, the 19th century, volume 1s and 2. We have Stevens collected poetry and prose. We have American Poetry, volume 1 and 2, and that's the 20th century. We have Arthur Miller, collected plays. We have crime novels, American noir of the 1950s, crime novels, American noir of the 1930s and 40s. So moving down here, we have Edgar Allan Poe, Essays and Reviews. Poe wrote some magnificent book reviews, and this is quite a volume. We have Frederick Law Olmsted, Writings on Landscape, Culture and Society. A 2-volume set, and this is American Fantastic Tales, excuse me. We have Terror and the Uncanny, From Poe to the Pulps, edited by Peter Straub, and also edited by Peter Straub's Terror and the Uncanny from 1940s to now. Right next to that, we have American Science Fiction, which we really enjoy. 1953 to 56 and 1956 to 58, and wonderful old pulp style covers on those. So, yeah. Moving along, we have Women Crime Writers, again, anthology, 2 volumes. You can see we did a lot of these anthologies. So we have, let's see, 4 suspense novels from the 40s and 4 suspense novels from the 50s. We have Nathaniel Hawthorne, Tale and Sketches. We have Melville. This one has Redburn, White Jacket, and Moby Dick. We have Crane's Prose and Poetry. We have Lafcadio Hearn's American Writings. We have Sarah Orne Jewett, Novels and Stories. Mark Twain, Mississippi Writing. Elmore Leonard Westerns, absolutely popular volume here. Chandler's later novels and other writings, and Chandler's stories and early novels. Fitzgerald, novels and stories 1920 to 22. Hammett, crime stories and other writings, and also Hammett, complete novels. Jack London, novels and stories. H.P. Lovecraft Tales, which is very popular also. We have 2 volumes of MacDonald. We have Ross MacDonald's 4 novels in the 50s, and then we have 4 later novels right here. We have Steinbeck, Travels of Charlie and later novels, 1947 to 62. Steinbeck, The Grapes of Wrath and Other Writings, 1936 to 1941, excuse me. Steinbeck novels, 42 to 52. And Adora Welty, The Complete Novels. Then moving over here, we have Laura Ingalls Wilder. This is volume 2 of the Little House books. We have volume 1, but that one is out, and these volumes fly out of here. So we're very happy to have them. We had old paperback volumes that were just a little beat up. Then a very important volume, and one that I really enjoy, is the Harlem Renaissance, 5 novels in the 1920s. Beautiful cover too, by the way. Then we have Ross MacDonald again, 3 novels in the 1960s. We have Shirley Jackson, and this has The Lottery, The Haunting of Hill House, We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and Other Stories and Sketches. We have Jack Kerouac, Ursula K. Le Guin, The Complete Orsina, Ursula K. Le Guin's Hainish Novels and Stories, Volume 1 and Volume 2. We have Kurt Vonnegut novels, 87 to 97, and we have novels and stories by Vonnegut, 1950-1962. Again, Elmore Leonard, 4 novels of the 80s, and we kept this and covered this part so that people could see the covers of those original novels. And then we also did the same again with the novels of the 70s. We have Wendell Berry. I think that Library of America just started coming out with these. This one's Port William Novels and Stories, the Civil War to World War II. We have Liebling, The Sweet Science and Other Writings. We have American Speeches, Volume 1 and 2. The first volume is Political Oratory from the Revolution to the Civil War. And then the second one is Political Oratory from Abraham Lincoln to Bill Clinton. We have Irving, History, Tales and Sketches, The Sketchbook, The History of New York, Salmagundi, and Letters of Jonathan Oldstyle, Gentleman. Moving along here, we get into a bit more of Mark Twain. Collected Tales and Sketches, 1852 to 90. We have Collected Tales and Sketches, 1891 to 1910. We have 2 volumes, here, if I can get this in here. We have Edmund Wilson, Literary Essays from the 20s and 30s, and then the second volume is from the 30s to 40s. And then again, 2 volumes. We have Isley Collected Essays on Evolution, Nature and the Cosmos, Volumes 1 and 2. And then another one of these anthology volumes. We do a Shakespeare club here, and this is Shakespeare in America. So this is an anthology from the Revolution to now, edited by James Shapiro. We have Dana's 2 Years Before the Mass and Other Writings. Bartram's Travels. We have Barbara Tuchman's The Guns of August and the Proud Tower. And again an anthology. This one is World War I and America. Moving along, we have Parkman's Volume 1 and 2. This is France and England and North America. I have those volumes at home also. Absolutely wonderful and nice collection there. We have Benjamin Franklin's autobiography and his Poor Richard's in later writings. John Quincy Adams' diaries, Abigail Adams' letters. Then moving on to the bottom shelf here, we have John Adams' Revolutionary Writings. Again, Parkman. This is the Oregon Trail and the Conspiracy of Pontiac. And then right back to John Adams, Revolutionary Writings, 1775 to 1783. We have Thomas Jefferson's writing. We have the American Revolution, Writings from the War of Independence, 1775 to 1783. Again, a John Adams. This is Writings from the New Nation, 1784 to 1826. We have Abraham Lincoln, Speeches and Writings, 1832 to 1858. Then we have Justice Marshall, Writings. We have Hamilton, Writings. George Washington's Writings. And then we have a 2-volume set here that often gets overlooked, but I think is magnificent, and that is Adams, again, well, not again, but History of the United States of America during the administrations of James Madison. So volume 1 is 1809 to 1817, and the other one is 1801 to 1809, so I have them out of order. But Henry Adams, one of his masterworks, in my opinion. And then we have Madison writings. And yes, I did correct the order of these on the shelf. Then we have a collection, again, of writings, but this time it's from the War of 1812. We have John Quincy Adams' diaries, 1779 to 1821. Another Lincoln volume over here, and this is Speeches and Writings, 1859 to 1865. And then we go into 4 volumes, and this is quite the collection. And these are all the Civil War books. And they're collections of writings by those people who were in the Civil War. So there's 4 volumes of them. So this is a collection of men and women of every class and kind expressing in their own words how it was to live in America, tearing itself apart. And that's quite true. So very, very nice part of our collection. Fix this. We also have General Sherman's memoirs. And with Grant, we have Memoirs and Selected Letters. And then with Captain John Smith, Writings and Narratives. So I have 10 more volumes downstairs. I'm not going to bother to go through those right now, but they'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So as you can see, I changed my mind. I ran downstairs to the book processing area and grabbed the 10 volumes that have not been put out on the shelf from Library of America. I just thought, well, let's just complete this and let you see what we did so you get a feel for the whole collection. So these will have the Mylar covers put on them, and then they will go out on this shelf and will be ready to go out for the public. So just really quickly, Theodore Roosevelt, The Rough Riders, and an autobiography. Another Steinbeck volume. This one's Novels and Stories, 1932 to 37. So this has The Pastures of Heaven, To a God Unknown, Tortilla Flat, In Dubious Battles, and Of Mice and Men. And then we've got Virgil Thompson's Music Chronicles 1940 to 1954, so that goes with the volume that's up there. Thoreau, Collected Essays and Poems. Thoreau, A Week on the Concord and Merrimack Rivers, Walden, the Maine Woods, and Cape Cod. Again, Mark Twain. We have a lot of Mark Twain. Historical romances. So this includes The Prince and the Pauper, A Connecticut Yankee, and Joan of Arc. Mark Twain again. Innocents Abroad and Roughing It. Mark Twain again. The Gilded Age and later novels. So this has The Gilded Age, The American Claimant, Tom Sawyer Abroad, Tom Sawyer Detective, and Number 44, The Mysterious Stranger. I think we have just about everything Mark Twain. And to finish this up, we've got a couple Kurt Vonnegut's. We've got Novels and Stories 63 to 73. So this has Cat's Cradle, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, Slaughterhouse-Five, Breakfast of Champions, and Stories. And then this final volume, again, Vonnegut, novels 76 to 1985. That's Slapstick, Jailbird, Dead-Eye Dick, and Galapagos. So give you an idea how these are bound. You know, the nice Smith's own binding. You have a marker, and yeah, very, very nice for the library. So this, again, I think we have one of the plates already on this. Let me take a look. No, these haven't been processed, so they won't have the gift plates on them yet. So when you do the gift sets, you can have book plates put in. They're provided by Library of America. Again, the shipping is free. Again, you're getting a pretty sizable discount on each volume when you give them to your library. So yeah, I'll leave a link below. And if you have a library you would like to, or a school library, or that public institutions, this is a great gift. And like I say, we're thrilled to have it here in our library. And till the next video, thank you, BookTube.